The title says, Ghosting After a Very Uncomfortable Date. I just want to write about this experience that I had to get it off my chest and go into the universe. You might disagree with ghosting, but right now I feel like it's the safest option. Alright, so I went on a date with a guy that I have been chatting with on OkCupid for a while, like a month. I didn't really feel any spark with him after the first date, but I felt he seemed like a good guy and he had a few traits that I am looking for in a partner. The bare minimum. Yeah. After our first date, he said that he needed to have me in his life. He asked me out every day for a week until I had to tell him to back off. I felt overwhelmed by his enthusiasm and thought that maybe I was just being a Grinch about the whole thing. He chilled out and let me take the lead. I felt uncomfortable with the whole thing. Like he thought he found the one and I was still not sure if I wanted to have another date with him. Ooh. We met a date, met for dinner, and then went to his place for a movie. See where this is going?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We sat next to each other on his couch, and he kept moving closer and closer to me. I would blatantly move over away from him, and he would move closer to me. Ugh. Reminded me of that animated skunk that is in love with the cat.
Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, okay. He got up to go to the bathroom. I made a wall of pillows beside me on the couch thinking, there is no way that he will miss this signal. The only thing that would be more obvious would be me telling him to fuck off. He snuggled up on that wall of pillows and put his arm on my thigh. I had one butt cheek off the couch.
Oh, she's doing the hover.
Avoiding all physical contact with this guy was like a game. As soon as the movie was over, I was up and had my shoes on. He wanted to watch the sequel. Then he settled for watching the deleted scenes and alternate ending on YouTube. I said I better get going, and I am so incredibly dumb. He drove. So I needed him to drive back because I didn't know where we were. He said he lived in the next neighborhood from mine. 5 minutes walk across the bridge. Nope, 25 minutes drive from my neighborhood. I live in a very urban area. I knew I was in trouble after we spent 5 minutes in the car, but it felt like it was too late to change the plan. So he drives back, and all seems peachy. He drops me off down the street from my place, where he can get free parking. He asks if I want to go to park with him. I say no. He asks if I want to go check out the street art in the neighborhood. I say no. He asks if he can please walk me to my door. I said that I should really just go. I literally ran away from the guy. I ran away from him. He smiled and waved.
Wow.
Stu's waving at me right now. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is mostly an audio affair.
Yeah, this is an audio. They can't see you. They can't see your big dumb face. He texted me saying that he was talking to a friend of his and the sequel to the movie we watched is supposed to be even better than the one we watched. He says, quote, "There is only one way to find out, winky face." I am not texting that motherfucker back. That was the most uncomfortable I've been in a long time. This is the most clueless man in the universe. So it's just a rant, but like, do you have any thoughts on this?
I have a few.
Yeah.
There's coming on strong, and then there's chasing someone off the sofa.
Yeah.
There's coming on strong, and there's Pepe Le Pew, which is pretty obsessive. If the question is there ever an excuse? Is there a good reason to ghost someone? Yeah, I think there is. Mm-hmm. I think that occasionally that's necessary.
Occasionally, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. Yeah. I think they're probably pretty young. I think they're like maybe very young adults, like maybe 20, 21,
maybe
19.
younger. One of them doesn't drive. So
Yeah. So it might just be that this guy is absolutely fucking clueless. And like she said it, not just clueless, but he is not malicious or he's not trying to make her uncomfortable intentionally. He just has no self-awareness whatsoever. That might be a part of it. It doesn't excuse his actions by any means. I just think that he's fucking clueless.
Yeah, but then I still think that ghosting is an option there because
you're
not going to explain to him. You're not going to if he's that clueless.
Yeah, you know what? I agree, but I also think it's a good opportunity for him to learn, and I think she should be honest and text him or call him. But like preferably, I would probably text him and say like, "Hey, you know what? I was giving you signals the whole night that I don't necessarily feel super comfortable, like, physically around you, and I don't feel like we should see each other again, and I don't think you picked up on that. Now, the problem is, he knows where she lives. And there are creepy guys out there who will, they will, like, sit in the bushes.
Yeah.
And, so...
But
I don't know.
I kind of agree with you, though, because I have no idea who this person is or what this situation was really like, but he doesn't seem predatory. I mean, he drove her home and then offered to, take her to look at street art and stuff, which is kind of something that I would do.
Yeah, but, I still understand her point of view. I'm not saying that her reaction or her feelings are, like, invalid or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a good opportunity for him to learn that he was making her very uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay.
As a woman reading this story, this is why I wanted to share it here, because it just reminds me of so many situations I've been in, and I'm sure there are a lot of other women who have also experienced that. It's so uncomfortable, and people in the comments were all over the place. Some of them were like, why don't you just, like, tell him, like, on the spot that, hey, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like this. And you have no idea how, like, difficult that can be. I don't know, like, in my own experience, it's like, you're kind of frozen, you're like, what do I do? But you're also like, I really don't want to hurt his feelings. Like, especially if he's been nice to you, like, kind of, in a way, you almost feel like you owe this to him. And if you turn him down, or if you say, this is making me uncomfortable, you're really gonna, like, hurt him, and then you're at fault somehow, even though that's not the case. Because you can always say no. But, I mean, yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, for sure. But have you, as a guy, ever done this? But, like, do you think there might have been a moment where you accidentally did it?
Yeah, once.
Okay.
And it was in my adulthood, when I came on really strong to someone that I felt like I had a real connection with, but it was very one-sided. Oh. And in the end, she got a mutual friend to ask me to stop pursuing her. It really hurt. That's the only time in my entire life that's ever happened to me. I wasn't that close to her. I didn't chase her, like, off a sofa. Look, we didn't even have a date, to be honest. It was just, I was pursuing her a little bit too hard. How about you? You ever chased a man out of the house?
I have not, but I've been chased out of a house. So many stories of this, and I'm gonna share two. I'm gonna share, like, the most recent one, which was maybe about a year ago. And then I'm gonna share one that happened when I was 19, I think. So, first story happened about a year ago when I was doing a math thing and a bunch of people were involved, and I got into a PhD program, which I'm currently in, and I was like, hey, if anyone is applying, I can maybe try to, now that I'm not stressed about applications anymore, I can help you people apply and maybe proofread through your statement of purpose and whatever. And there was a guy who emailed me, a math guy from a different university, and we worked on some research together for a little bit, and it was not like anything official really, but it was we went out as, like, friends. That I thought we were friends for quite some time, and he asked me to spend Thanksgiving with him, and I was like, oh, so I'm like, I think we might be dating, but no, but we're friends, but no. And I'm, like, not entirely sure, so I'm just going with the flow. Like, if things happen, but at the same time, kind of like, you know what, I don't know. And because he lives in Orange County near Los Angeles, and I lived in San Fernando Valley, we decided that I should probably get a hotel room for a couple of nights. And I do that. And which I was like, I'm staying there alone. Like, I told him explicitly, like, you know what, I don't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room with anyone. That's not going to happen. So this math problem we worked on was, pretty interesting. And, as we had some extra time, we stayed in the hotel room for a little bit working on it. And I fell asleep on the bed. And as I was sleeping, he decided to join me on the bed. I was like, don't you like cuddling? And I'm like, just completely frozen. I'm like, what do I do? Do I run? Do I scream? I can't. This is awkward. And I just froze. I was like, yeah. Oh God, what do I say? And I'm just kind of quiet. Like, I try to be like, kind of like this girl. Like, I'm trying to be subtle with him because I really don't want to hurt his feelings. Because I didn't think he was a bad guy, just fucking clueless. And I start putting on this whole show of like, oh, actually, you know, I don't like being touched ever. I don't like hugs. I don't like anything. And this is a part of it was true for a long time. I was a person that I was very uncomfortable with any sort of physical touch. But I'm just trying to give him like these little hints, like maybe he'll back off if I tell him this. And then he just pulls me closer when I say these things. He's like, oh, you poor thing. And then he whispers to me, he's like, I've never been with a white girl before. He starts like dry humping my thigh. I can feel his dick in his pants like getting really hard. And he's just like humping my thigh with it. And I'm like, fuck my life. I'm like, I didn't want to be touched like this. I did. And then it gets worse. Because later in his car, he was, again, like in the story, he was driving me home. Fell asleep in his car, and I wake up to him like touching me, and his hand is in my shirt. And at that point, I just flipped. I was like, "Fuck you!" Like I am not. No. And yeah, that was what happened, and we didn't really talk after. I just didn't feel comfortable trying to kind of rekindle the friendship or anything. I didn't want to do it because I'm like, how do you recover from that? You don't. So that's like one of these. But this is kind of a tame one. Or it's, you know what, I should also mention that in this story, I was 23 and this guy was, I think 32. So old enough to, you know, have some experience and understand that this is not okay. So the other story is maybe a bit more lighthearted than this. But this is like, it's more extreme, but it's like funnier. Considering the ages of the people involved, me being 19 and this guy was 20, I can laugh at it now. Like, it's so. I met a guy off Tinder who's, I think was studying, like, computer science or something. I don't remember. Red flag. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But computer scientists, I love computer scientists because y'all do the stuff that I'm too dumb to even, you know, try. Anyway, so we go hang out a couple times, and you know, I get a weird vibe from him. I'm not really sure if I'm into it or not, but then my friends are kind of like, you know, you should definitely like hang out with him a couple more times and see where it goes, because I never know. But I was like, I don't know, because like this one's a very special boy. I don't know if I want to go there. But I do, and I go to his house and I step into his apartment. And, like, he lives with a bunch of other guys, and the whole place kind of had a weird stench, but then I step into his room specifically, and, I almost, like, vomited right then and there. He has, like, a package of ham on the table, and it's been open, and he just keeps it in room temperature.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just
Is it like sliced ham?
Yeah, sliced ham. This gets better.
I'm locked in, tell me.
The bed sheets had not been changed since like the Second World War. And he was 20, so I don't know how that's possible. But they had like stains on them. Go figure.
But clearly
it looked like you had rubbed like a KFC chicken thigh against the sheets. Like,
you think it was largely jizz?
It was jizz and like oil and like
body.
Yeah, like bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Hopefully not like shit. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Probably some crumbs, like some shit.
Don't. Oh God, traumatized.
I'm gonna have to ask you straight up. Did you have sex in that?
No.
Ah, good for you. My respect for you is restored.
Oh, gee, thank you. I fucking hope so.
Explain the ham.
We never talked about the ham. He just like pulls out this really old computer. He's like, let's watch a movie. It's like one of those, like, it's like a box, like a weird ass, like really old ass computer. And I'm like, what? And he's like, please log on to your Netflix because I can't afford one. And I'm like, okay. So I log on to my Netflix and I'm just like, what do you want to watch? He's like, what do you recommend? And I'm just like, let's just put something shitty on because I know I'm not going to concentrate anyway. And the movie that I'm going to be watching will be ruined for the rest of my fucking life. So I'm like, let's do a horror movie called Mirrors, because that's a shit movie. I can afford to ruin that for me. Okay, that's fine.
You're so strategic. You're so clever.
I know. Thank you. I'm modest too. So we watched Mirrors, and the whole time he's like kind of doing the same thing this guy in the story does. He's like getting closer to me, and I'm kind of like, I hate saying this about people, but like he smells.
It smells like ham.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not sure, is that him or is that the ham? And I'm like, and I hate saying this about him because like I don't think he was like necessarily like a malicious. He was just different. He was built different.
Yeah. Okay.
So he gets closer and closer and closer to me, and I'm just the whole time like, fuck my life. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And then he puts his hand in my shirt, grabs my titty, fondles it for a good 10 minutes, and then he's like, can I touch your boob?
It's kind of working backwards.
And I'm like, you already did, sir. Like, I don't know what's... Fuck my life.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so I'm like, we're getting towards the end of the movie. We actually didn't even finish it, because I paused it. I'm like, I can't do this. So I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom. Take my phone, go to the bathroom, quickly text my friend, like, please come pick me up. I'm scared. And he's like, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be like 20 minutes. I have to like survive in this house for 20 minutes alive, and then I'm good to go. But my backpack and my things are in his room, and I had an expensive ass laptop, so I'm like, I have to go get it. I can't leave it behind. My wallet and everything is ugh. And I go back, and my man is just sitting there naked, waiting. And he asks me, I remember this verbatim. He's like, can we do the sex now? And I'm like, no. just no. We cannot do the sex now. I'm going.
Enjoy the ham.
So I leave, and like I'm trying to converse with him for a little bit as he's like naked there, and I'm just like, don't look at the dick. Don't look at the dick. If you look at the dick, it's over. If you look at I looked at the dick. And like, I don't want to make fun of any like part of their body, but sometimes you should maybe see a doctor if your penis has cauliflowering on it. Just dude's crying.
Yeah, that's not the sound of laughter. I am crying with pity and hopelessness for all literally mankind.
So we converse for a bit, and I'm just really talking my way out of it. Like, I have a yeast infection. I can't have sex. And he's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I don't know where that cauliflower came from, because again, I'm like, Anyway, I end up making my way out of the house to the door, and he walks after me, butt ass naked. And my friend comes and picks me up. He sees that behind me. In the entrance, there's just a naked man like peeking out. And he knows in his heart he was one of the people that talked me into seeing this guy. And I've never let him forget about it, because I'm like, it's your fault. This is your fault.
You sent me to the cauliflower man.
God. I'm never eating cauliflower again in my life.
Just a packet of ham. Imagine that being alive. A packet of ham and a dirty dick.
I'm like, how is he not dead? Because like, if you keep red meat in room temperature for a long time and you eat it, like, there's some bacteria in it that you might die.
Yeah.
How is
maybe
he? What?
Maybe that's what happened to his dick.
What?
Maybe he got a dick disease from the ham. Look, I'm not a doctor.
Well, like, how does he, like, if he eats it, puts it in his mouth, it's not going to get to his penis. So he must have, like, rubbed his penis on the ham.
I can imagine a guy like that would do that.
No, I don't want to think about
because you can probably fold up, it's sliced ham, you can fold it up to look like a vulva.
If you fuck sliced ham, is that bestiality?
I can't believe such a sweet little face just said that sentence.
I've got tears in my eyes from laughing. Fuck. So that's that. So I guess answer to the rant. I have nothing.
What was it? I've forgotten what it was. I was so involved in the...
yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah,
rant about
ghosting. It was about ghosting.
Ghosting is sometimes okay, but I would only, right now, like, in this moment in my life, I would only do it if I felt like that person was a danger to me. Like, otherwise, if it's a non-malicious guy just being very uncomfy and clueless and dumb, I would just probably text him and be like, hey, I would try to be honest about it. Then again, easier said than done. And I've definitely ghosted people like this in the past myself, so I'm kind of being a hypocrite saying that. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters.